right, that's enough of that. Welcoming in my buddy. I have like a huge echo going on here in my head. What's going on, Mike? I can't hear you.
What?
Oh, there he is.
Was I supposed
How
to be
you doing,
talking?
buddy? What's that?
I said, were you talking to me? Because I was like, da, 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 da.
Oh, I just, I said, "What's up, Mike?"
I just, I was turning on my phone and I turned the volume down because your little intro thing is loud as hell.
Oh, I know. I tried to keep it level, but I wanted to
So
get people's
I had it turned
attention.
way
So
down so I couldn't hear you. What have you been doing?
I don't blame you. Man, I didn't real. I totally forgot about band camp last week when I sent out the invite to everybody. I don't have band camp this week, so I'm glad. But I'm doing good. Doing good. I've been busy. I've been so you and I we've gone. But he recommended to me a number of times that I should go find some Filipino who wants to call leads for me. But I don't really
Right.
necessarily have enough volume for that. I don't know that I want to. I don't know what that expense is going to look like on a monthly basis, but I've found a AI voice agent that will potentially do the exact same thing for a very flat, reasonable fee once a month.
I had you talk about one that like will like call out for you and stuff.
Yep, with a
I
lot.
tested one of those. I had
Yeah,
one of those. Like, I don't know, 6 months ago, a year ago, and you could type out a script and then it would call whoever and then it would like it's pretty intuitive. I don't remember the name of it, but um you could ask it questions and then it would respond back to your
right.
whoever you're calling their questions, and it was okay, but you could still tell it's AI, and
And the voice models have gotten better.
they're pretty good, and they're pretty tricky. But if you ask it um, like it was like where you at, where you locate or something, and it goes into like, oh, do you want our address? Oh, blah blah blah, and like so you could catch on it. But if it's very much like I said, I have a girl that I've used before. She in the Philippines, and she charges about $7, 7.50, $8 an hour maybe, and
Yeah, but is she going to take on like less than 3 hours worth of calls in a day?
I don't know. Depends on what she's got going on.
Do you see what I mean, though?
That's good money there. Like
I don't
it
have a
really,
lot. It's not like I have
yeah,
hundreds of leads, thousands of calls that need to be made.
right.
I've got 60 maybe in a day that need to be made tops right now. Right, so it's like I don't know that
You
I
have her
don't
do
know
other
that.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah, I just don't know that that's going to be enough to keep somebody busy or want to do that for me.
60
And
calls for her would be like maybe half a day.
right, but
Like,
at the same time, is I need
yeah,
them done at because like my call schedule is when I get a new lead, I call them 3 times in the first day, but I can't be calling them one, two, three. Right? I mean, it's like they're supposed to be spread out throughout the day, like at least an hour apart before I call them again.
right.
Right, and I even if I maxed out how many leads I'm getting a day, that would be like 10 on these Amtrak leads. I wouldn't get you know, I still wouldn't have that many for her to call.
Right.
That's why it just seems like the AI process might be a little simpler,
Yeah,
especially
if you
since
can figure a
it's
simple
five calls.
script, and even if um, you might have better luck if you build into the script that it is AI, right?
Yeah,
So don't try to pretend like it's not AI. Like when they call and go, "Hey, we're calling blah 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 on behalf of." I mean, even put it in the script. I'm an automated whatever calling on behalf of this for your Amtrak thing. Can we set an appointment? Blah blah blah. People might be more
less
open to
offended.
that. Yeah, they might be more open to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if someone called me and goes, "Hey, I'm a whatever," but if I hear the AI thing, I'm out. Boom, and I can
Yeah.
usually. Um,
it wouldn't be I haven't like completely finished the setup on it yet, and I've got another one I'm supposed to do a demo with next week and see how it goes. But I mean, cost is the big thing. It's like some
Right.
of like asking for two, three, $400 a month. I saw one was $1,000 a month. I'm like, dude,
Yeah. They're proud
no,
of them.
that's not. I would be better off calling the people in the Philippines if I needed to spend $1,000 a month.
Right.
So yeah. Anyway, so that's what I've been working on. I've had my son working on. We've been building using AI to help us build scripts for my Google Workspace, so that it gets my gets my forms talking to my sheets and you know pre-formatting emails for me and stuff, so that I can just copy and paste and send, as opposed to having to hand type them all out and shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
because yeah, if you can get some templates or whatever made.
yeah. And so we've been busting on that while trying to keep up with leads. It's been an interesting prospect process. We've gotten some of the automation to work, but not most of it. So we keep going back and forth with AI, and it keeps giving us updates to our script. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. I'm just trying to streamline things so I can process more leads and process them faster. But I mean, even what
Right.
I've created so far, it's already sped up. Because now when I enter all the information into a form, puts it into a sheet where it's all in one nice easy spot, and I can just go click click click, copy copy copy, paste 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 into my format. But eventually, I'd like for all that shit to be automated, so I can just go and find the sheet with the update, with the formatted email all laid out for me, so I can just copy and paste it once a day and send it on its way. We're getting there. We're gonna keep working at it. See how it turns out.
That's
But
good.
we're
I'm
doing
glad you
good.
have some young help to help you.
I
I get
homeschool,
lost in that
so I've
shit.
got an internship going.
I get I get lost in that stuff. Like sometimes I'm just like,
I
uh,
believe me, I do too.
I've got a guy. I'm setting up some stuff right now, and I luckily this guy goes through and he set up a whole like step by step video. Like here's a video. Like, here's how we do this. Da 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 da. Da. Like I'm like, thank you, sir.
Right. Like,
Because
that
if you
makes no sense to
you
me.
know what I'm having a problem with right now for a freaking all last night I could have. So they want me to set up a new Gmail account with the Gmail address, right? And so I go to set one up, and then it tells me like we let's verify you're a human, right? So it's going to text me a code or whatever.
Yeah.
It says that number has been used too many times. So then I'm like, okay, so can't use my phone number. So I try my wife's phone number, same thing. My daughters, both of my daughters, both my son-in-laws, both of my grandkids. I start going into people that I know, like real estate agents and stuff. I can't get this freaking thing done. Like I can't. I have. I don't know what to do. They want me to have it as a Gmail because they have higher deliverability.
Right.
So I'm just like I don't know where we're going here. Like I just did it again. I actually was just doing it right before I got on here with the incognito. Uh, I went on the incognito browser to
Yeah.
try it
Yeah.
that way to see if it was whatever. And now it says like I typed in because I've got two different CRMs with two different phone numbers on those. So I tried those numbers. It says this number cannot be used for verification. So I put in, I'm gonna put in your number right now. Let me see if it works. You're using Gmail all over the place. It
Oh
probably
yeah.
won't work either. But I put in my mom's, like surely my 77-year-old mother isn't whatever. Nope, too many times. And I'm like, what in the hell? Like, what am I supposed to do about
That's
this?
What does
Like,
that even mean? Too many times.
well, when you go to the help thing, it says, um, let's see, here I type in your number. This phone number has been used too many times.
I don't even know what it's been used too many times
Yeah,
for.
to verify. So uh, like I'm typing in like realtors that I use all the time that I'm close with. I'm typing in their numbers and shit. I'm typing in about like, and then after a while, it says like it obviously thinks you're a robot because it says confirm you're not a robot.
Right. No, it also sounds like it's not working properly because
It don't like me.
every phone number you
Every phone
use
number I
should
put.
not be
Right.
used too many times. That
And
makes
my
no sense.
dad, like my dad does not do Gmail, Google, whatever. Even my dad, he's 79. Nope, nothing.
Nope.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, what the hell? I'm gonna actually text that guy and say like, got any ideas with this? Because uh like I'm not sure exactly how we go about this now. So
Yeah. Interesting.
it's great.
Interesting.
It's great when
So
it
that
works.
right. That's why well, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I was like using Gemini to help me set up some automation stuff within Workspace because it's like I don't want to have to. There should be plenty of these capabilities without having to pay for a whole third party system to fucking do it. Pardon my
Well, I don't
French.
even like Google Workspace is like $30 a month or something, $25 a month or something. Like,
Nah, mine's like
man,
16.
I'm just like, dang.
But at the end of the day, there's no reason everything within Google Workspace should be difficult to automate from
Right.
one thing to the next. I mean, that should be a pretty, you'd think straightforward operation if you're keeping all of the stuff within Google Workspace. And you'd think Gemini would be able to write all the code and write it flawlessly, but no. I've had to go back and forth, replace code 17,000 different times. It keeps troubleshooting things, saying, I need you to go back in
It's
and
funny because,
type in manually all of your column headers because there might be
oh,
a mysterious unseen character, and that's why it's not working. Eventually, I just replied back to Gemini. I'm like, look, dude, I have entered this information 5 times. I'm certain it's not the information. Let's move on to
I like when it
another
tells me,
troubleshooting step.
I type stuff in there and it tells me. I I'm not going to say on this call some of the stuff I've typed in there, but it's really funny. And it says like this is not. It tells me it's just funny. I'll tell you off the record one day some of the shit I type in there. But like I typed in today, um, that I typed in it. I'm selling a truck on Marketplace, and some jackass just pipes in and like says some smart ass shit about the price, then like the price.
Right.
So I took a picture of his profile picture, and then I went into ChatGPT and I said, make this guy look like Shrek, and then and then it goes, that's against our policy, blah blah blah.
That's
Blah.
against our
And I
policy.
said, so I asked it, I go, what is it against your policy? And it was just talking about, it was just funny. I'm like, shut up. And I went over to Grok. Grok did it.
Of course. I like to go on to it. I use Grok and Gemini. It just kind of depends on what I'm about to use it for. But like people will post stupid stuff about economics that they think is the right way it should be, but it like makes absolutely no economic sense.
Right.
So I like to go in and ask Grok or Gemini and be like, write a reply to this comment
That's
with,
funny.
the way Thomas Sowell would respond to this comment, but make it a little snarky.
A little snarkier.
And so
I,
it just lays
yeah.
out this big long economic explanation like why what you just said is stupid, but it does
It's,
it in a very
it's just,
collegial way.
I had this girl that was replying back to me about something the other day, and clearly she was just going on to ChatGPT and cutting and pasting what it said. And I was just like, yeah, ChatGPT is cool, but shut up if you don't know what you're talking about. Like, that's like, just do something else. Like, if you can't argue it, why are you arguing it? Like, just stop. Um, I don't know. It's,
I, I will use it. Like I said, I had somebody who wanted to. I posted something about. Oh, I forget what it was, but it had something to do with like. Oh, it was a picture Zuby had posted on X, something about um, the way modern Christians think Christianity is, and it's nothing like what it says Christianity should be. And so I posted it. Somebody comes up there and says, "What's it say about judging?" And so I went and I just had ChatGPT just write me out based on a very well known biblical scholar. I'm like, why
Right.
don't you explain this to me for me? I appreciate it. I copy and paste that right in there. I don't care. I'm like, I read over it, make sure I agree with what it said, and then I'm like, okay, run with that. Go ahead. I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't
if
have
you do
time to type
that.
all that shit out, man. I'm not gonna.
No, no, if you look at it, but like this girl was just clearly like it was like
Oh, she wasn't
not
even
even.
paying attention to what she was. Oh, that's
Mm-mm.
yeah, yeah, no. I mean, I use it all the time because I use it to write all my quotes and everything else, and all kinds of stuff. And but you always have
You
to
gotta look at
proofread.
it, see what it says. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, every time.
And it's cool because you can prompt it. Like we had a guy that came on and did like a Zoom like class for us about it one time, and he told us like um I don't find this sheet because he gave us a prompt sheet, and then he put on here and said like thing you tell it I'll find this one here. He goes AR, and he said like avoid fancy jargon. Right, normally you're forbidden to use complex English words, but you'll be penalized and fined $1,000 if you use words from the ban list. If you use one word from the list, I'll stop the generation. And then you put hashtag ban list, hurdles, bustling, harnessing. You just put all these words in there, and
Oh
then
yeah, I need to add a banned word
yeah,
list to my
and then you put use a
prompt.
scholarly but friendly tone of voice and make it SEO optimized. And so he just typed all that stuff in there, uh and then you put that in there after your whatever your question is. So because that was one of the things I was using it for writing my newsletters. I
Right.
have a snail mail newsletter that goes out once a month, and I get into when I first started using this company, they had a girl that would call me once a month, and we would go over stuff, and she would write it all out for me. It was awesome. And then she quit, and then so I started just having to write it myself, and it was brutal. Like it's just brutal. So I'm sitting over there like I'm not a writer,
Nope.
and so I would use ChatGPT. Well, I did it a couple times, and you look at it, and it's like, God, that is not how I talk. And so now, kind of what I do is I go in and I'll do the same thing, and then but I'll go through and edit it out, and um, a lot of times it just gets me going, right? Because I get it
Right.
going,
Right.
and I'll go in there and um, edit it all out, start typing. Gets me better. It's only like one column, but Jesus, sometimes it's tough for me
I
to just get anything out of my brain.
my my host agency, we did a whole webinar series on utilizing AI, and they provided me with a questionnaire to fill out, and it was the brand voice questionnaire. And so it asked me questions about how I wanted the tone of my communications to sound, what peppy, upbeat, serious, or all that sort of stuff. What kind of um, I mean, hold on, I'll just bring it up. I got it here, right here. It asks questions like, it starts off, says, I'm going to train you on a new writing, editing, and content creation brand identity that will be called the Livin Life N Style brand voice. Blah 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 blah, and then it starts asking questions. Um, you know, Pick three of the following words to describe the personality of your agency: peppy, casual, fun,
Peppy,
professional, knowledgeable, trustworthy, adventurous, reliable, innovative, ethical, experienced, creative, passionate, resourceful. I picked fun, reliable, and creative. Right?
naked. You should have naked.
Yeah, I should have picked naked. Nude.
Nude,
Nude.
nude train rides. You should put one of those together. Like
Right. Did put
a
an alternate
nudist,
one? A null.
a nudist Amtrak, and just have like a whole train full of naked people. You could
The
charge a
the
premium
Amish
for
people
that.
the Amish people who got on board would be really freaked out.
No, too
Um,
bad. They
pick
have to sit in the back.
pick three of the following words that describes the ideal writing style of your agency's marketing materials. Convincing, creative, friendly, peppy, casual, professional, passionate, and confident. I picked friendly, and you'll be glad to hear I picked peppy and
Pepe.
confident. So,
That's
anyways,
funny.
it goes all the way through like 11 of these questions, and I get them all answered, and then I saved it in a PDF, right? I saved it in a PDF. So I take that PDF and I can just upload it to Notebook or upload it to Gemini or whatever, and it automatically tells the AI how the whole tone of how I want them to write anything that I want them to write. And so yeah, I rely on that heavily because it's just like copy paste or upload that document. And then I have pre-forwarded pre written templates for like almost every prompt I use, so that I don't have to go through and try to rewrite it every
Yeah,
fucking God, what a
you
pain
have
in the
to.
And so, yeah, I've got one that it's like, here's my quote email. It's time to write a quote email. I just replace the names of the packages, make sure if it's a guy, that all of the pronouns say he. If it's a gal, all the pronouns say she, and spit it out. And that, man, it's made a world of difference in how fast I can process quotes. But once again, that's why I want to. So now I'm getting it set up to where when I get information entered into this spreadsheet on Google Sheets, that it'll automatically generate that prompt for my quote. So I don't even have to go in and make all the changes in the prompt. I can just it'll already be written out that way for me. And I can just copy and paste the whole thing and throw it in there. So
Nice.
eventually, it should work that way. So hopefully, we can iron out the bugs and get it to work. But I only spend so much time on it a day. I got to get to business too. So
Correct.
yeah, so those are the things I've been working on. I finally got caught up from all of the backlog after being on vacation. It took me damn near to not damn near. It took me a month to just get caught up again. So that sucks,
Wow.
but I'm there. So
Yeah, I had that problem. I went out of town for a week. Yeah, I was still doing some work from home or from the hotel and stuff, but I
in
still had a
Hawaii,
pile. Hawaii. I'm ready to go back.
well, Zach's out there on the beach already. He saw
Is
his
he in
his
Hawaii?
post. I don't know if he's in Hawaii. He didn't tell me. He just said he was not going to make it to
Yeah, I
the
saw
show
his
today because
picture. Only
he
got
doesn't
one leg.
believe. Yeah, I know. I didn't realize he was an amputee.
He
I don't
could
I don't think he is.
stream from the beach, Zach. He could still stream.
Here's Zach. What beach are you on? Let's see if he replies. I thought Sandy would be here this week, but I guess not. I was thinking that we should see one of the things we talked the other day about, or I don't know, I guess it was 2 weeks ago now, that we should, you know, do this podcast thing a little more concerted, put a more concerted effort towards this podcast thing. And I was trying to think, well, what kind of stuff would we want to make, or would we want to focus on in our podcast? And
Right.
one of the ideas I've been batting around. You remember those old radio shows where it was like on, they're usually on late nights, right? And it was usually on a music station. They'd break it up with
Dr.
music.
Demento,
I don't know Dr. Demento. The name sounds familiar, but I'm not familiar with his show.
Sunday nights.
But at the end of the day, basically the idea being is that people call in with their problems.
Oh, yeah.
And you just like I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a shrink. I'm just here to listen to your problems and provide a little feedback. And I kind of think that would be fun. they, they could write into us and we could read their letters on the air type of thing. you know,
Yeah.
and then we could batter, and since we're both business professionals, I mean, it could be business problems that they want us to discuss, but I'm down for discussing, men's and women's poor choices in the opposite
I'll
sex as well.
I'll tell you whatever.
Yeah,
I don't care.
it didn't have to be locked in on business,
No.
um, but I think that would be fun. I definitely think that would be fun. If you have any ideas on what kind of shit you'd like to talk about on a podcast besides,
Oh, I could go for days probably just
I mean,
and really
I don't
not
want to.
and not say anything.
I don't really want to do sports, and I don't really want to do politics. Although I'm not afraid of talking about sports or politics, it's really not what I want you know, like the vibe of the show to be about.
Right. Yeah, you can do that too, like a call in, call in, send an email, and then I can roast you. Did you see
Yeah,
the
well,
picture I sent you?
yes,
Did
I
you see?
saw the picture you sent me, and as good as the picture is,
There
your
is no
comment just
mercy.
your comment was better. Just is
I just want to
one.
make sure he knew the Fiona reference, who I was talking about.
You want to know who I am talking about?
And yeah, I'm happy
Look,
to have
dude,
a roasty show. We can just roast people. There's so much stupidity. There's so many stupid. There's so. I mean, social media can just die as far as I'm concerned because the people are so stupid and
I'm
so like the stupidity. It's just infinity, little infinity sign. Stupid
I've
all day long.
I've noticed I have less and less interest of what's in my feeds.
I used
Like
to
the other
argue with
day,
people. Yeah,
I did too.
like 10 years ago, I'd argued with people. 5 years ago, whatever. Now it's like I look at stuff and I go, God damn, you are stupid. And um, I just every once in a while I throw one in there just for fun, like I did this morning. But it's like uh,
I quickly grow tired of it though. It's like
it's like
if I get that wild hair up my ass to start an argument with somebody, like I'll get two or three comments in, and I'm like, I don't fucking
I have
care.
no intention of trying to change their mind. I just like I know that
N-
they'll just flip. So I
No, me
just say some
either.
shit like that, and I say shit
Yeah,
like that comment I made to that dude, and it's like boom. And properly worded, it could set them off really nice, and that's what I like. And so
that's
I
what I like.
I just it's just because they're so stupid and they don't um,
I
if you
like.
don't if they're like people are going off of the current political climate is just insane, and then the whole thing now they're coming out with all this stuff about saying Obama whatever, and I'm over here like duh no shit, and then people are like coming up, it's just like
Well,
people are
but
coming up
then
and
on the
it's
flip side,
like nobody
people
was
think he's
there.
actually going to go to jail. Stop.
No, nobody
Stop,
thinks that,
people.
right?
Nobody's
Nobody
no,
thinks
no,
that.
no, 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 no. Yes, lots of people think that.
Yeah,
Yes, they do. And they all
yes,
need to stop because he's not.
right.
That's dumb.
We know this. Now, would I love to see it? Yes. Would
Sure.
I love to see him shackled? Would I love to be the one to pull the big lever on the gallows?
The
Yes.
perp walk, I'm down, but it's not going to happen. And when I sit there and I watch all the commentators talk about it happening, I'm like, you're just surfing for clicks.
Right.
That's there. There's nothing serious about what you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, and if the Epstein files didn't prove that to you, I don't know what to tell you. I
Well, and not only
can't
that,
help
like,
you.
so like with that too, because like there's a whole thing now, like that there's, the judges, what I read is like it's not necessarily the administration or even the FBI, but the judges are holding a lot of that stuff back. There's a lot of
Oh
these
yeah.
judges that are saying, "Oh, this stuff's redacted." Okay, and you have to protect the victims. Well, okay, but you have the right to face your accuser, even if you're dead. And so, and the people that are alive, because they're accusing people that are alive. So the thing is that there was a big deal when he died. Like a whole bunch of his estate went to a giant fund. They stuck a bunch of that money that came from the government, Israeli government, and whoever else, and they made a big fund. And they said, if you're a victim, then you could file a claim and tell us how you're a victim, and you file a claim, and then you can get some of this money. So for me, when you do that, okay, I'm going to file a claim against a dead guy and whatever. Okay, well, common sense will tell you that there's going to be a lot of shit that's not real in there. So fake claims and people just saying,
Sure.
well,
Yeah.
let me
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
some of this money. So if you're going to do it fair, that you can't just say I'm a victim and I'm hiding, and uh, you can't know my name. This doesn't work that way. If you're going to
Right.
file, if you're underage, maybe, but if you're filing the claim now and doing all that stuff, so it's there's a whole lot of other stuff in there. But now these judges are like they've got it locked up, saying they're not going to release any of the info.
Well, I just want to know if there's nothing. If there's nothing, no evidence, no files, no lists, no nothing. The hell's Maxwell doing in prison? Because obviously, not
Well,
is she
that's
in prison
I've
for
said that
doing
for her
nothing?
the whole time. How do you convict somebody of
For doing nothing.
trafficking to nobody? Like, who did she traffic to? Like
Exactly.
that was my thing at the beginning, the whole thing. How are you going to traffic somebody if there's no other? It takes two people to do it. So how they convict her?
It's like
uh
it's like
I
some.
said that when they
It's like
got her,
drug.
I was like,
It's like drug trafficking between being the mule in a drug trafficking operation. You're taking it from one person and taking it to another person, but you're the only person who goes to jail.
right,
Wasn't there
right.
a
So it's
dealer on this
and
end and a supplier on that end?
the,
And
the whole thing is just it's government government intelligence agencies all over the place. And so everybody says, oh, it's Israel, but it's not. I would say Israel's it's probably part of it, but I guarantee he's freelancing for several different places. And anybody who give him the money, and we gave him money, Israel gave him money, everybody gave him money. I guarantee
that's
you.
yeah. I mean,
Prince What's His Nuts is on there all over.
I'm yeah. I mean, part of it is I'm just kind of over it at
So
this
the
point.
palace, the British government was giving him money. You know that because they were trying to keep him out of there
Oh yeah,
and keep him out of the news. Like everybody was giving him money, and so there's files, there's shit everywhere. But at the same time, I honestly kind of almost think that um, was there something that was revealed that they saw that they didn't know about that they were like, oh shit, we can't put this out there. You know what I mean? Like because the way it turned was
I
did that happen?
I
Or
really don't care.
no, I mean
It's there's there. At the end of the day, if you're going to, oh well, we can't expose that. Well, then let's just be honest. The,
there,
you,
yeah,
you've decided you have a price, and you've just set the price.
yeah. And so it's like and I mean I do agree that there are a lot of things that the general public doesn't need to know, especially after if you read Facebook for a while. Like I said before, all the dummies. There's some people out here like there are shit that does need to be probably kept from the public, but um I just I don't know. I like I said, I was never under the impression that anything was ever going to happen, anything was ever going to get released because of who the players are
Well,
and and who the players have always been. Who
and
everybody knows who they are, and
well,
just you want to see it on paper.
I think that what pisses me off is don't come in saying you're going to do X, Y, and Z
Right.
when you know you're not.
Well, I don't know that
You
they knew they
riled up a whole
weren't.
bunch.
That's what I
Well,
was saying. I don't know they
well,
knew they weren't. I think maybe like I said, I think there's
then
something
you
that they came
don't
out and
come.
said.
Then you don't come out and just say, "Oh yeah, no, there's nothing there."
Right. I wouldn't have said
That's
that.
not what you do. You say, "Oh well, apparently a lot of information has gone missing," or a
Right.
lot of I mean, you don't just say, "Oh no, we we just lied to you through the entire election,
Yeah.
and we really just wanted you to vote." And then once we voted, we were just going to tell you that we'd won.
Well, and I don't think that either
I don't
because
necessarily think they lied, but I
it's
mean,
not a
you
one and done for me. Like I said before, like there's so much other stuff that's been happening that's
it's
securing the border,
yeah.
and
I,
I don't care about the Epstein. I never did care about Epstein. It'd be cool to have it, but that was not a thing
I
for me.
I care. To me,
And
it
and
goes
on the scale of like what's been done and that like
now. See, to me, it's one like the theory of the like if you police broken windows, you lower the
right.
serious
That was
crime rate.
Giuliani's thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. And and on the scale you're talking about, the Epstein thing is policing the broken windows.
right.
And if and when you don't, you have the bigger criminal activity that will take place way above and beyond that. And that's not to diminish what Jeffrey Epstein did. That's just to say that in the grand scale of what the federal government deals with, it's it's potentially rather small fish, right? But at the end of the day, if you're not going to stand up for the law on something that small,
I don't think
I'm
it's
going to be
small. I think
dubious
it's a
of
large thing. I mean, I
well,
think it's a large thing, but it's
but
like
in the scale, like you were saying, when
yeah.
you're comparing all the different stuff, it's
I meant of the scale of the thing that he's done, the things that's been done since he's been in
well,
office. But on the things of that, like on that, on the scale of what that is, it's a gigantic thing, and that's what I think because I think it's all over every country. I think multiple countries. This dude was getting people over there, and I would bet that he was a freelance guy, and he was getting I think what they were doing was he would get somebody over there, videotape them doing whatever, and then blackmail them for whatever, and then blackmail the government or blackmail whatever, sell the money back to Israel or sell the evidence back to so and so they can blackmail them. There was a whole bunch of stuff going on. I think it's a giant operation that was going on, but I think it got because he was back in what was it? Oh,
and
six when he got busted or something. Oh seven when he got busted, and they said like you got to let him go because he's an asset. I think that the scale of what he was doing is gigantic and should be busted up. But I think that on the also because of that, because of who the players are not government people. They're multi high level people that we'll never know. We'll never know,
well, I know we'll
and
never
that's
know,
way beyond Trump.
but at the end of the day, you I don't find it. I find it. I don't want to say reprehensible, but whatever a lower level of reprehensible is, that you're going to go in and drum up support by saying you're going to do X, Y, and Z on something that is so criminally awful as what Jeffrey Epstein did, and then just basically
Yeah,
turn heel at the
but
end of the day. And it
I don't
just
know that there
says to
was
me
ever
that I can't trust that the Obama stuff, like if you like, I guess here's what it is. Tulsi Gabbard drops all the Obama papers last Friday, and everybody's all treason, arrest him. We want to see him in cuffs. We want to see
right.
the. And at this point in time, I'm like, after what just happened with Jeffrey Epstein, I don't care because it's all bullshit. You're not.
Possibly, yeah.
I'm not. I can't expect that I'm going to see any of the things that everybody's like all, you know, you know, real energized about after we just watched them not do anything with
Yeah,
something so
but
big.
those are different levels of things, though. See, like, because you have direct, like that was direct. Um, that was direct, like the Obama administration doing those direct things. Whereas, like so, I was trying to say with Epstein, like with Epstein's deal, um, that's not so cut and dry as far as him and the him doing what he was doing because it's multifaceted with all the different
If
governments
he
and
was
government
doing
agencies and all that stuff. So
if
I
he
don't.
was doing what everybody was trying to say he was doing, there's plenty of evidence available or was
Oh, I'm sure there
available,
is. Yeah,
and therefore it should be released. I mean, it's not like we can throw the dude in jail. He's dead,
right.
supposedly.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
what I'm
I'll tell
saying
you this.
earlier.
That's the other thing.
The
All this
judges are
shit
holding on to
also
it.
makes all this other shit also makes it me more willing to believe that yeah, he's not even really dead.
Oh, uh,
He's not even
there's
really
a
dead.
possibility too.
Like, why would I even believe that part of it? Why would I
With the
even
money
believe
that he had, why would he be dead? I mean, if it was me, surely he could have got out of there.
if he
But if
was that
somebody could get
highly
in, he could get out.
if
So
he was that highly protected of an asset and somebody that people liked so much, why didn't they just be like, okay, you're disappeared for now?
I don't know why he got. Why did they arrest him? I don't even remember why he was arrested that time. But if it was for that or what, because I mean, whoever got him, you know, they took him out.
And it's really weird that the most vocal of his victims got hit by a bus and died.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah,
His
I
attorney just
suppose.
died too.
Yeah, exactly. Weird.
But um, but I mean that dude was 80 years old. So he just died that, but he was like, I don't think he was his last attorney though. I mean, it just one. I think
No, I
he was.
mean Dershowitz was his attorney too.
He got. Yeah, but Dershowitz got off with all of that. Dershowitz proved that he didn't have. So that's what he's the one that said
That
that
there's a
they
lot of stuff that
there's a
judges
lot
are holding
of stuff
back.
there, and yeah, because he saw it all because his
He was yeah.
case, whoever he sued that came out and said that he was on that list, and he came out and sued him, and so they part of his deal was he made them show all this stuff, and so he has, like he said, he can prove it that he not only is he that there is information, but he's not in it. And so because that's how he had to prove that he wasn't in it was he got them all to do it. So I mean, like I said, I mean, I know that it's because like for me, most people, I don't think most people voted for him because of the Epstein shit. There was so much bigger shit going on, and I don't, and I think that
It,
was just the thing. Like he throw it in there, like, hey, we're gonna do Epstein too. Like, why
here's the
not?
thing. Here's the thing. It all relate. I mean, it wasn't. It's not just. Okay. So we all know, the concept of the big ask in your negotiations, and it's
Right.
like everything was the big ask in the campaign, and like really, it's really kind of been a fireworks dud, other than the border. Other than the border, that's the only thing that has lived up to well,
No way. The
Ma-
tariffs and
Maha,
stuff and all the
Maha,
negotiation and
Maha,
everything and the Maha. Yeah.
Robert F. Kennedy. That's lived up to its billing too.
Right.
But but the
Those are big. Those
the
are big.
spending bill was atrocious. Doge didn't do
Yeah.
jack shit. Even if
They're
you
still canceling stuff.
eh, they're canceling billions on a
Right.
on a budget of trillions.
I mean, you got to
It's
get there
failing.
somehow.
It's not getting anywhere. It's a
Right.
rounding error. It
Well, they're catching like, I mean, they're canceling contracts and stuff. So I mean, that's going
there's
to help
supposedly
eventually, but
all this fraud in USAID. Nobody's gone to jail.
well, they won't. Well, because
Exactly.
but they
Exactly.
can't.
But that is what he campaigned on. That these people are going to jail. People who've been
Right.
doing all this wrong and all this corruption was getting thrown out the door. And Doge comes in and finds all this stuff, and then the House turns around and just puts it all right
No, but
back
they
in the
Patel and them guys have said that they're like they're digging into like the USAID where that money went and all that stuff.
yeah,
But I mean, that's going to take
and
those people.
it's going to
Those
take
you're talking about
time,
professional
right?
government thieves. Like they're burying their tracks. So it'll take a while for that shit to come out. But the problem
But
is you only got 4 years to do it, and you
if
maybe only
they
have 2 years to do it.
if they want to maintain their credibility, they should not have oversold what they can do. Because you oversell and underdeliver, you look like a schmuck.
Yeah, but
And
I don't
right
think they
now
have
they
under.
look
I
like
don't think they've
schmuck.
underdelivered. I think they've delivering all kinds of shit. They're not
I
delivering on that, but they're not like I said, the Epstein thing's not a big deal. But I think the Doge one, they're that's going to take a long time. But I mean, it's only been 6-8 months,
it
so
it it did not take a long time to pass rescissions if they wanted. They only passed two bills. They only passed two pieces of legislation
right.
through the House this year. Two. You
That's
couldn't
not
get
Trump. That's
rescissions
those
done.
people.
That's no,
You know what I mean? Because
it's not.
that you
I'm
have
not
all
saying
those
I'm
fucking
not
jack
blaming
off
I'm not
rhino
blaming only
people.
Trump on this.
Right.
I'm not blaming only Trump on this.
Right.
Trump's just the big megaphone who oversells everything, right? It's
Right.
the whole thing that is the pro. It's like and all of those Congress people were more than happy to jump on. Oh yeah, we're gonna do all these things, and then immediately turn around and be like, yeah, we're not gonna do.
They did it last time, but here's the difference between this time and last time, because the last time they a lot of them jumped on board and then they said they were going to do it, and then they flipped immediately and stopped everything. So
That was
right,
like
they
if
didn't
the
do
disaster
shit, and
just happened.
they didn't do a fucking thing. They all just kept on saying, oh, we can't do this, or we can't do that. But this time, what they're doing that's different, which I've noticed, is most of them are being quiet now. Most of those Republican senators and congressmen and stuff, the majority of them are laying low, and they're not like the first time they came out and like McCain, with the fucking Obamacare, like, mm,
Jeez.
right? So,
we, speaking of which, we were just in yesterday. Was it yesterday? It may have been last Tuesday. We had the the group meeting up at the restaurant,
oh,
and
Breakfast Club.
yeah, and somebody mentioned about how, well, we're about to lose another insurance provider on medical insurance. I'm like, man, I was reliably informed that our health insurance problems were behind us.
Going to be
I
cheaper,
distinctly remember a bill being passed that said this was going to solve the problems with the
right?
health insurance industry.
Right.
That's so weird that we're running out of suppliers.
And they're shooting CEOs because health control costs are out of control, and that's the same people. So, yeah, I mean, but like I said, the whole thing with that was is like where I was going with that is like the I think I see the congressmen and those people and the senators are laying a little bit low. They're all still trying. I mean, they're all still politicians at the core. So if you have to rely on them to get anything done, at the first time they all instantly flipped and they were all like, "Oh, we can't." And then they played the game and pushed him out and didn't, so he couldn't get anything done. So this time he came in stronger and he was like, "Screw you guys, I'm not fucking with you people this time." And so he started blasting stuff through, and he's still doing it. But and what I've noticed is they're not pushing back as much as they were the first term, this first thing. But I mean, I know they're doing it silently, and you always have the few that are outspoken, but most of them, if you notice, like you don't see any of them in the on TV in the news. You see one or two every now and then, like,
I
and that's all you
well,
see
I don't watch the news,
because
so
I don't either. But I mean, you see things, but you know, out there, there's only a few that are vocal, and the rest of them are all just laying low, and they're like, "Holy shit! I hope this blows over so we can go back to being DC scumbags again."
yeah,
And so if you
you're
have to rely on those people to get stuff done, I mean, either way you walk in there, you got to rely, and that's what happened to him the first term. Was that he thought he could walk in there and go, boom, everything's fixed now. I'm going to fix all the shit, and he met the swamp,
see,
and the swamp is deep, and the swamp goes a long way.
I don't think that's how he walked in the first term. I think he walked in the first term, and after he had won, he was like, "Oh, now they'll welcome me into my club,"
Yeah, and that's what I mean.
and then they
And he
didn't.
also said he thought he's used to running shit in New York. And we're walking, okay, let's go, let's fix this. And they were like, fuck, we're not doing nothing.
And and now this time they passed that giant spending bill. They've gone back to sending money to Ukraine. They've
Right.
gone. They've they started a war in
I don't think
Iran.
he necessarily said they were sending money back. They said they were going to, and then he said something about later that they're
He
sending stuff
opened the
over there. But
spigots again. Last I heard,
I mean, I don't
he was
care. I don't,
resupplying them. I'm
I'm
just saying. All I'm saying is, it seems like
right,
for all the blowing and blustering, that
right.
we're really pretty much back to status quo
I don't
American
think so.
politics at this point.
I mean, there's some of it, but like I said, you don't have, um, you have to account for that because you got one group, um, that's you can't just go in there and change anything. And I mean, maybe your expectations were too high. I don't. I
No,
mean,
I mean that's
I
fair.
don't, and I just don't think that. I mean, because I've been watching this shit since I probably got serious watching politics stuff back Clinton when Clinton got in,
Yeah, Bob
And
Dole election for me probably.
and so I was just saying, fired up all this stuff, and then like I just got tired of it. And the Obama thing for me, because the Obamacare thing for me, Obamacare, and um,
The
uh,
minute that passed, I quit selling health insurance.
well, not only that, but like my whole, it's not even that. It's when it was over, right? And when Roy Blunt and all those jackasses were over there screaming, they're on the radio, they're on the TV, and all the time, we're going to kill this Obamacare. We're going to kill this as soon as we get him out of there. Uh, uh, we're going to do this, whatever. They should have had a bill ready sitting on his desk when he walked in there. And Trump walked in January, and instead they were like, oh, because they were trying to shove through stuff when they knew they were in the majority. They knew nothing was going to pass, so they were writing all this big shit, making big presentation. Oh, we're going to fight this, fight this, fight this. So in theory, if they really were going to fight it, day one when Trump got in there, it should have been on his desk and he could have signed it, but they
Yeah, well,
didn't. And so for me, like I was like, screw all you guys, and you're all full of shit. And, and like Roy Blunt stuff. Like, I know I got on the block list on his, to call his office and shit. I got one guy that yelled at me and hung up on me and shit. Like, because I was like, you guys suck. So, I mean, that's when you realize how deep the swamp goes on both sides. Because after, we could use a third party, but that's just not a viable thing. That'll take years and years and years, which somebody should do. Uh, but I
yeah,
think, but when you get in there, and so like Rush Limbaugh used to talk about all the time too. Like he used to tell people, he's like, you guys don't know what the hell. Like there's no R&D after the cameras turn off and shit.
no, it's
They all go to
professional
they go
wrestling,
to the
man.
same. They go to the same cocktail parties and they go to the same shit and they're
It's all kayfabe.
stripper with the same strippers and the same shit, and they're all just like, "Hey, you win this one. I'll let you win this one. You let me win this one,
It,
and we'll do
it's all
whatever."
it's
And
all kayfabe. It's
it's
all
all
kayfabe,
it's all
which is the Professional Wrestling Act, man.
right.
Kayfabe. That's what that's
So
all kayfabe. That
yeah,
you know,
so that part of it you still have to deal with. You walk in and do whatever. I think he's dealing with it better this time than he did the first time because I think it hit him upside the head the first time. I don't think he realized
and
that it was as bad as it really is.
what's even crazier about politics kayfabe is that you don't even have to have face and heel turns, right? You just know that on one network you're the bad guy, and on the other network you're the good guy. I mean, and that,
And
you don't have
even that, yeah,
you know
yeah,
because
and it's just
at least Hulk Hogan had to double cross Randy Savage, right?
right.
He had to see it, and then that's how he became the bad guy. But in politics, you don't ever have to actually become the bad guy because you can just you're just the bad guy. Depends on which
You
network
just
you're
go,
on.
yeah, well, right. And that's when I quit watching that stuff so long ago that like you know got me as I used to watch some of those shows and my dad used to love to watch Hannity, right?
Oh
And
God,
so I was sitting there one day and we were at their house and I was just like, I go, you know why I don't like this show? And he's like, why? I said, it's just screaming and nobody ever offers any solution. All they ever do is just bicker until the commercial, then bicker until the next commercial. But I go,
that
nobody
was
ever
back in
says
Hannity
this is
and
how we can
Holmes
fix it.
days.
Right? We don't fix it. Like fix it. Don't
Yeah,
just
no,
bitch about this guy, your guy this, and my guy this. Like I don't care about any of that. I'm going for the person who's doing the best for the American people and the best and the best you can get is where that's what I think. You're never going to get anybody who's going to be perfect or anything in there. So I'm going for the best that I can get, the highest.
yeah, the
Uh,
lesser of two evils. Not
no,
what happened to
I
be
don't even
best.
think that. I think the more because I won't go like if someone's just straight out Obama American hating person, like I would never vote for that person, even if they were if there's
Right.
someone worse than them. If there's someone worse than them, I'm not voting for either one of them. But What I mean is like the person he's doing the most for the American people. He may not be doing all of it. He may not be doing the best that everybody wants, which you could never do anyway. But I'm going for the guy one who's doing
You,
as the
you,
most of my best interests in half
you know why
in
I,
hand.
what I've I've replaced a lot of my political viewing with watching old clips and old reruns of shows of like Monday Night Raw and WCW Nitro. You know why? Because it
I
kind of
didn't know
goes
that. I
exactly
never
what
used
you're
to watch
talking
that.
about. Kind of goes exactly what you're talking about how they just bickered and nothing got solved. Well,
Right,
at least in professional wrestling, every once in a while, maybe once or twice a month, you'd at least get to see Stone Cold Steve Austin come out and hit a stunner on Vince McMahon to show the man to, give him the big FU. We never even get that in politics. It's just more
right.
bickering, more bickering. At least every once in a while, you got to see somebody get their ass knocked on their ass, and it was at least satisfying, even though you knew next week it was going to be the same old shit.
I never got into that shit. I never watched that stuff. I watched it a couple times if I was high on a Saturday night, but
Well,
um,
dude, duh. Now I get kicks out of it because it's reminiscing. You see, it's like, oh
right.
yeah, I
You're
remember this. That was great. That was
like
so
back in the old
funny.
days.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even watch like current professional wrestling. It's like I'm not
Do they
interested
still
in
do
getting
that?
into.
I didn't even know they
Oh
still
yeah,
had it.
on Netflix they still have Monday Night Raw on Netflix, but it's moved to Netflix now, so it's on Netflix every Monday night live.
I used to have a friend that used to watch that shit, and I was like, dude, that stuff is so fake. No, it's not. And
No,
I
I've
actually had to go. I went to
It's
uh,
fake to a point. They're really
Handsome
falling
Harley
off.
Race. Handsome
I
Harley
love
Race.
Handsome Harley Race, man.
So I had a friend, and it was like, come on. We went down to. I feel like we
Kansas
went
City
to like
legend.
Memorial Hall,
Yeah.
and watched. Like went down in there and watched the thing, and I was
Yeah,
just
back
like,
when they had Bruiser Brody and Bulldog Bob Brown.
Bulldog. I remember that name, Bulldog Brown.
Yeah. I know
And
all of them.
then uh, but that's the only I don't know Handsome Harley Race is the only name I know. But I remember going down there and just thinking like, what in the hell? Can I
It
get some fucking snow
look,
cone or something?
like I said, it's fake to a point. They're still jumping off of things and landing on people. That does not feel good. Right? I mean,
Right.
there is physical skill involved and pain involved.
Oh
The only
yeah.
thing that they really know is who's going to win before they go in. That's about the only thing they really know. The rest of it is kind of freestyled while they're out there and directed by the referee. I don't know if you knew that, but that's how the matches take place. Like they really only know the end result before they go
Oh,
in. And so but anyway, not the point. At the end of the day, I just feel more satisfaction if I'm going to sit there and be lied to the whole time. I might as well embrace the lie. And they're dealing with too much supposedly serious shit at the federal government level to be okay with with what we're getting. And so with that being the case, it's like I'm just tuning out. I can't I got sucked up into all the hype machine about what they were actually going to get done, and none of it. I think I very much just agree with Elon. Like I was excited, just like Elon was excited. I thought things were going to happen, just like Elon thought things were going to happen. And then about the same time that Elon got fed up with it, I was like, yeah,
well, and then
we're
his
we're
whole
getting
deal
to you.
too. And I'll tell you like my take on that. And I don't know. I think I told you that before, but like they, I feel he was never he was in there to try to save those EV mandates. And I think he thought he could chum up, and then because to me that kind of showed me that
Oh,
Trump's
I
not going to
think
be bought off. And then so when that still came out, he thought that was going to be rounded out, and he thought he was going to be up there and be next to him and be like, hey, let's just leave that in there. And I think when he told him no, like we already those suck and we're going to get rid of them, and then he threw and when he threw his hissy fit thing, he lost me. When he threw that
uh,
big old hissy
that's
fit,
fine.
like
But
he lost
I,
me.
I, all I'm
Uh,
saying
I've
is
had teenage daughters. I've seen that
I got
shit.
I got fed up basically at the same time that Elon did. I'm not saying
Yeah.
anything about how he handled things or what his motivations were or whatever. That's not the point.
Right.
The point is by right about that time, because that was when they were doing the big beautiful bill bullshit. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is we've just been sold a bill of goods. I'm checking out. They turned around, they bombed Iran. I'm checking out, man. That's not what I signed up for. I don't
Right.
care if look, I'm not a fan of Iran. I was perfectly content with everything that was going on. I just didn't want to be involved, and there was no reason for us to be involved. They handle their own mess, and I
Yeah.
was okay with that. And but basically, each time we turned around, we were getting just a different. We were just getting the same shit we always get from the federal government, just handed off by a different hand. The
Maybe.
only things that are like different than the way business has been conducted in the past is the border and RFK. Everything else
Right.
is essentially being done the exact same way it has always been done. The only difference is the
It's only
money
been
is
6 months too.
the
You
money
only made
is
6 or 7 months in either too. You can't change the world in that. But
well, but
I
you're
mean
also
it's a
and
perception thing.
that's true for every administration because you only get that first 6 months
Right.
because by the time you roll into the back half of the first year, you're starting to get ramped up for the mid-year elections, and
But
nothing
they're
happens then.
still firing people too. They're still getting rid of weeding out all those all those people out of all these swamp jobs and stuff,
Oh, one other
which is
thing
going to
I'd
take
like
a
to
long
point
time.
out. One other thing I'd like to point out that I think is actually getting done that's different um, is that they might actually be making progress on closing the Department of Education.
Yeah, that's
That one might
actually
actually be happening, which is something that's been promised since 1980. Since 1980 was when that was promised, and nothing happened for 45 years. So it, you'll have to excuse me for being cynical, thinking that Donald
no. I'm
Trump's
cynical
really not going
too.
to be any different than most other politicians. Away, because you could say the same thing about Barack Obama. Barack Obama continued George Bush's foreign policy for the entire 8 years of his administration.
Sure.
He didn't do anything, but he had one or two big things like Obamacare.
Right.
And that was the big thing that he changed. But other than that, he didn't change shit.
They
He
left
was
the
bombing.
Patriot Act.
He what? Yeah, he left the Patriot Act exactly. Well, not only that, he magnified it with his NDAA signing
Right.
that he passed. I mean, he kept bombing people. He bombed American citizens for
Right.
using speech, and then bombed their kid. So I I'm just basically, and I kind of think the Epstein files tie into it. Trump was just eventually let into the club. That's, to me, that's what makes
He's been
sense.
let in the club. I don't think about that. I
He,
don't know
he's
about
been
that.
he's been led into the club. You know, I think the club is kind of given up the fight in that regard, and they're like, okay, fine,
I don't think
you're
they ever
in.
give up the fight. I think they just laid back and wait, and
Think of
then
it this
they.
way. Think of it this way. We're going to expose everything in the Epstein files.
Yeah.
Well, look, if we let you into the club, will you let up on the Epstein files? Like, yeah, maybe. It's like, but we also still want a big spending bill. We want to fund Ukraine, and we think you should bomb Iran. Oh, okay, fine. I'm in the club. Yeah, okay. We
I
got a
don't think
deal.
that's it.
No
Yeah.
Epstein's.
I
No
mean,
Epstein.
that's a perception thing. I don't think that's. I don't take it like that.
No, it's
I
definitely not reality. I'm just
but
saying.
yeah, I don't. I don't think that's. I think there's either something in those. There's something that was seen, or there's. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like how they handled the Epstein thing either. But I don't think that. I
Pe-
definitely don't think
pe-
he. I don't think he's definitely been let into the club.
I think two things about Trump. I think Trump always wants to be accepted in popular elite social circles, and I think Trump wants America to be 1980s America again, maybe 1990s America. But those are the two things I think
Which would be
animate
great.
and motivate Donald Trump. So those are just my opinions on it. But and so if those are what I think animate and motivate him, then obviously I'm going to apply that to what I see taking
And
place.
your uh,
And I can
perception
agree.
bias will
Yeah,
fill in that
exactly.
spot.
Yeah, exactly. And that's fine. I'm perfectly willing to accept that.
Right.
There's no animus. It's not worth being upset about. It's just
No, there's
You
things
got
you
to
can't
rationalize
control.
it in
Like
your
you can't
head.
control the shit, and
Yeah,
like you just kind of
and your
do.
mind wants to rationalize it. So
Yeah, and it's better if you just like I've got a friend who calls me like I talk every day, one of my agent friends, and it's like, did you see this? Did you see this? I'm like, no, I didn't. I don't. I really don't.
I
And she's calling, like she calling, you're calling, I'm calling. I call so and so's office. I call so. I said, well, fuck, I used to do that shit 10 years ago, but when I realized that all I'm doing is wasting my breath, and then they got caller ID and they got my name on there, and it comes up with a big fucking red flag and says like, Bobby, it's your turn, right? Take this psycho. So I don't do any of
I
that. I'm
I
ready to. I
have
mean, if I'm going to move on any of that shit, I would.
I have
I'm so far
a
past all that. Like
I have a
I
friend
would
who
be
would do the
stringing up
same.
the gallows.
I have a
I'm
friend
all
who
about
was
the
doing this.
gallows.
I'm all about the gallows. I have a friend who was doing the same sort of stuff and like always, did you see this happen? Did you see? And I'm like, no, I didn't. Let me look. And we'd have a little banter back and forth or whatever. And we've been doing this for a while now. But last week, somehow because he really got fired up with the Epstein stuff because he's not a Trump guy, so he was really he was Trump's covering it up type of thing. And I'm like, okay, Johnny come lately. I watched this shit for 10 years now, and you know, like,
It's been 10
I'm
years, and
quite
so that was my whole thing too. Like, don't you think?
I'm
Uh,
quite certain that Trump's not on the list because if he was, it would have been used.
why would you make up him raping some chick in a, a, a dressing room when you
Right.
could have just dropped the Epstein files?
Right. Exactly. And so, anyways, he brings up the grab him by the pee
Right.
topic, right? And then he tries to say that Trump was promoting. Uh,
Oh God, they've been saying that for years. I'm like, are you
right.
kidding
And I'm
me?
like, did you read the context of what he
Right.
actually said? I'm like,
Right.
he's
Or listen to it.
talking about women who throw themselves at celebrities and rich people.
Yeah.
He said,
Yeah.
yeah. And like,
It's
he's
like,
not talking about actually going out and do that. Have you ever heard of a metaphor? Like a simile? Is it gross? Is it crude? Is it the way I would speak? Absolutely not. I would never say those
right.
words, but it doesn't change the fact that he wasn't talking about assaulting people.
If you listen
It,
past the 2 seconds that they put on the TV and listen to the whole thing, you can listen to the whole thing, and it's like, oh, that's just two guys talking shit,
yeah,
and like,
and these people who try to say that, so I'm like, I've heard worse stuff in a locker room. Like, I've been in a locker room and I've never heard anything like
shut
well,
up,
like, I don't know what fucking locker room you've been in, dude.
right?
Like,
Full of
geez,
shit,
I
but
grew up listening. When I grew up, Andrew Dice Clay was a comedian.
correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
I've
he's like,
heard worse shit,
oh
man.
God, bro, he was the best.
I I was a Sam Kinison fan.
Right.
I've heard worse shit.
I got a
Uh,
Sam Kinison DVD in here
Good for
in my
you.
collection.
You're a legend.
Even I watched it though. I was like, whoa.
Is that the one? Is that the one where he tells all the starving people in Africa to move because
No,
they're
I don't remember which. I don't remember which.
nothing
Uh,
grows in
it's
sand?
true. He's true. It's true though. Uh, I did that when I was in Minnesota. I got stuck in Minnesota uh, one year uh, in it. I got stuck. I had to stay in. I got broke down in Minnesota, and then they took me over to Fargo because it's right on the border, and it was 20 below before there any wind chill factors any of that stuff, and then the snow was whatever, and I just kept asking people like, why do you stay here? Why do you stay here? Like you can get a moving truck with a heater, and you can have heat as you get the fuck out of this place. Why are you here? And they're like, oh, we can snowmobile everywhere. I go, so what? Like,
It doesn't sound. You're not
fuck out of
convincing
here.
me,
I
people.
got stuck there for 3 days, and I finally called my boss. I mean, get me the hell out of here. I can't. And just walking across from my hotel to the Applebee's or whatever was brutal. And I'm like, I just kept asking people that, like, why do you stay here? And they're like, you're fucking nuts.
I Yeah. Well,
Okay.
they're about to elect a Somali socialist in Minnesota, so that about says everything I need to
Yeah.
know. Great times, dude. I've kept you long.
Yeah. No, I got my phone's like, get off the phone.
Yeah, me too. We'll have to wrap it up. We need to brainstorm on this being serious about a podcast thing. This was a good conversation, even though it's not generally the germane conversation for a business roundtable. So we may need to adjust our focus and figure out how to make this like a thing.
Right.
So, but
Cool. I just
until
got another
then,
loan approval. Mm,
score
While we're
one for the
sitting
big guy.
here.
Score one for the big guy. Good deal. Good deal. Well, congratulations on that. I will let you get off here and get to work, and I'm going to do the same. And
All
we
right.
will reconvene next week. In the interim, let's kind of brainstorm on that podcast idea.
Okay.
All right, man.
I'm
Take it
down.
easy. We'll see
See
you
ya.
next time.